Is Diablo 2 Resurrected entering its golden age? Are we witnessing the rebirth of Diablo? Or is this just the beginning of something much bigger? Hello YouTube, Liquid Dream here with another episode of my Holy Grail journey. Like most of you, I have blindly created a Warlock class, and I dove into a new season, which I'm currently in Act 1 on Hell difficulty, having just beat the Countess and her scary goons of archers, and then called it a day. To say that the Warlock is overpowered would be an understatement of the century. But I'm not complaining, as I'm blasting my way through Hell with very budget gear. And let's just say Hephaestus is the MVP at the moment for me. As I was grinding along, I was thinking about what Blizzard had said if the reception of all the new additions to D2R would be received well by us. What are some of the improvements that I would like to see being added to the game now that we got the stash tab improvements with all its benefits, a new class, new items, and let's not forget the chronicle and loot filter, of which both need some tweaking in my opinion. But what else could we see in near future for Diablo 2 Resurrected? I think a new act is a given. People were screaming out for this for years, or even making Act 4 a meaningful journey which would take a bit longer to get to the Big D and his seal bosses. If Reign of Warlock was a gauge of how the new content would be received within the grandfather of all ARPGs, Blizzard has passed with flying colours. But next, I would like to see something like an in-house trade system, so we don't have to leave the game to trade our items. You could perhaps leave a note with your item to say when you'll be online next, and same would go for the person wanting to buy it, and as a whole it would work. Sites like Tradery or JSP would still exist, but it would take away the hassle for majority, time poor or casual players like you and me. On the back of that, I would like to see guilds. With that, maybe something like guild challenges with a silly cosmetic reward, or something to say that your guild is committed, or even a shared stash with items that you no longer need, that you would like to, pass on to someone who is starting late due to real life commitments or even maybe just going on holidays. Next, and this is probably a bit selfish, but I would like to see more rune words and unique items, but more importantly, rebalancing of existing items like they're about to do with the most OP rune word being Mosaic. For example, make Tyrael's Might actually a godly item, not just one of the rarest items in a game that honestly can be charsied because there is Enigma, and Enigma is just an Enigma. Yeah, rebalance and addition of new ones would be great. We also need solo self-found ladder for people that like to challenge themselves but don't have resources like, let's say, some popular streamers that literally blast to level 99 with their audience, giving the rest of us not much to play for. I'm not complaining about the fact that they do that, but I would like something for people that don't have that opportunity. Maybe some endgame changes, something more challenging inspired by D3 or Path of Exile. This would give level 90 plus characters a structured grind beyond chaos and Bale spams. A charm inventory would be amazing. Currently most builds run 90% of charm in their inventory, leaving the other 10% for the cube, which then expands into additional space. Although a bit controversial, but I think it's something that I would love to see. Maybe some increased character slots, especially on consoles. I mean, I've got 1 terabyte worth of hard drives, why can't I just save my solo self-found, offline players and have as many as I like? If I wanted to create, for example, now a character or viable build for each of the characters, that would be 24-25 slots, and I would be already exceeding the slots available on the console. And then what about those mules? No room for them. Or I might even like, that item in the future kind of space mule. The next, it's Act 1 and Act 3 mercenary rework. Literally rarely get used, and for a good reason. Act 2 and Act 5 are just so much more OP that the other two have no business even being offered as a sacrificial lamb. And on my previous wish, expanded Act 4 could potentially bring us a new mercenary class. Speaking of mercs, maybe additional item slot like rings, belts, boots and amulets. It worked in D3 and I can't see why it wouldn't work here. Remember, these are my wishes and you don't have to all agree with me. Now let's talk Sunder Charms for a minute. They have gone from one extreme to the other. We've gone from Sunders dropping hourly to now dropping for 30-40 hours. And then, the way to get it is pure luck, and even if you get to level 4 or 5 heralds, there is a chance that it will not even drop. That would be something that would need to be adjusted in my opinion. Then let's address the elephant in the room. The Warlock definitely needs to be nerfed, but not down all the way to like a F tier class or something. It will need to be still viable, and not just a novelty that would die in a season or two. I wouldn't also be opposed to some new classes, but it would need to be something that fits into Diablo lore and not just dropped in, for sake of a cash grab, I guess. All the improvements would sit outside of the Lord of Destruction version of D2R, same as it is with the Reign of the Warlock, and consequently adding now to that as a base game. There is plenty more I would like to see changed or improved in the game, but that's probably enough for now. Sound off in the comments of what you would like to see implemented into the game in near future, hopefully. And you know what? Enough of all that, and let's get into the actual good stuff, the Holy Grail. We're back hunting down terrorized Andariel, and finally, after countless runs, I got it. A gift most generous that my merc will love. Chance to cast the Grabify on striking. That one line turns your merc into a support monster. Even in 2026, even when Infinity and all the shiny rune words float around, they still hold its own. The Reaper's Toll. A proper classic. Another run, same Demon Queen and same treatment. She goes down quickly and this time I see green on the ground. A set Colossus Blade. Now that's a bit of nostalgia right there. Reading through it, it's got nice little stats, layered with some chunky strength bonus and some fire res to round it all off. Now, is it competing with the Grief? Nah, let's not lie to ourselves. But you know what? Another Grail ticked, and it's Bulkathos Tribal Guardian. Look at that, delicious. Yep, still looting Andariel, which is before the nerf by the way. And this time she drops a bucket loads of IS. Has it been overshadowed by rune words over the years? Absolutely. Is it useless? Not even close. For niche melee builds, for early ladder progression, or for someone not swinging in high runes, this can still do the work. And on Holy Grail journey, that's more than enough for me. It's Horizon's Tornado. All too soon, that brings us to the end of another video. Andariel delivered as usual, and we finally got the Reaper's Toll. A nice item to tick off the Holy Grail. So where do we stand on the future of D2R and new content? Do you want to see new acts, classes, weapons, guilds, and overall quality of life improvements? Or was this enough and Blizzard should leave the sleeping giant in for another 25 years of slumber? Sound off in the comments. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to like, subscribe, and help me reach my goal of 100 subscribers. I'm slowly getting there with my Grail and with my goal. But for now, until next time, peace out YouTube, and may Lady Luck be on your side.